This is VOA News. I'm Tommy McNeil. Dozens more bodies have been recovered Friday, the morning after ferry overturned in Tanzania's part of Lake Victoria. Anna Bevan reports for Reuters.
Government officials fear the final death toll could reach as high as 200. Initial estimates show there were more than 300 people on board. The ferry sank just meters from the dock on Lake Victoria's biggest island.
Tanzania officials say at least 79 people have died after the passenger ferry capsized. China has called on the United States to withdraw sanctions it imposed on a Chinese military agency for buying Russian weapons or bear the consequences. Speaking to reporters Friday, Foreign Ministry spokesman Greg Shuang said that Beijing had lodged an official protest with the United States. Russia also reacted Friday with the deputy foreign minister warning the U.S. against playing with fire. The U.S. imposed sanctions Thursday on a Chinese military agency for buying Russian weaponry in violation of U.S. sanctions on Russia. The State Department said it would immediately penalize a unit of the Chinese military that oversees the country's defense technology for executing transactions with the Russian's main arms exporter. An international human rights watchdog group is accusing Nicolas Maduro's government administration of committing some of the worst human rights violations in Venezuela's history. The report highlighted the violence perpetrated by security officials during anti-crime operations in poor neighborhoods. Amnesty International's report, unveiled in Buenos Aires, Argentina, featured a video presentation that included several Venezuelans talking about how their loved ones were killed in what Amnesty International terms extrajudicial executions. This is VOA News. U.S. President Trump has signed a new national cyber strategy calling for a more aggressive response to the growing online threat posed by other countries, terrorist groups, and criminal organizations. U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton.
We're going to do a lot of things offensively, and I think our adversaries need to know that. Some of the things we may well be in a position to talk about publicly. Others we may well not be in a position to. So I wouldn't want to prejudice that. I just think it's important for people to understand that we're not just on defense, as we have been primarily on defense for a period of time.
The strategy, which takes effect immediately, is being billed by the Trump administration as the first fully articulated cyber strategy in 15 years, providing direction to various departments and agencies on how best to protect their data, as well as the private data of millions of Americans. It now appears that Christine Blasey Ford may testify next week after all. She accuses U.S. High Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexually assaulting her when they were teenagers. AP's Sagar Magani.
Her lawyer says Ford will testify if they can agree on fair terms that ensure her security. A Senate aide says the lawyer spent a half hour on the phone with committee staff yesterday, telling them Ford prefers to testify Thursday, not Monday as the panel had scheduled, and she wants to do it without Kavanaugh in the same room. The lawyer also wants the committee to subpoena Mark Judge, whom Ford says was present when Kavanaugh assaulted her. Judge has told the panel he doesn't remember the incident and does not want to speak publicly. Sagar Magani, Washington.
A U.S. federal court has indicted the son of the former president of Guinea and his wife for allegedly enslaving a young girl in their luxurious Dallas, Texas home for 16 years. Mohamed Touré and Denise Cross Touré were charged with forced labor and harboring an alien for financial gain. Their attorney said the government's case is riddled with salacious allegations, fabrications, and lies. But U.S. attorneys say both brought the unidentified girl to the United States from her village in Guinea in 2000. They said she was at least 5 years old, but could have been as old as 13. Neighbors helped her escape in 2016 and brought her to the YWCA to live. Vietnamese President Tran Dai Quang has died after serious illness. The official news agency of the communist country said that Quang died at the military hospital in Hanoi, but did not elaborate. He was last seen in public Wednesday at a meeting of the Communist Party and a reception for a Chinese delegation. He hosted U.S. President Donald Trump during his state visit to Vietnam last year. I'm Tommy McNeil, VOA News.